3, 4,
5, 6.
6. That's right. Hello, and welcome to Level 2, Week 4 of September 2016, Wednesday Night Hop. The class was
3, 4, 5, and 6.
6
count. And so we're just going to quickly go through the 3 moves that we covered in class, and then we're going to go through all the moves really quick as a rundown. But the first move that we started today was, what would you call this, like a side pass swing out, kind of?
This would be a cross body lead, thank you. And it uses the tension of basically the swing out, like we did before. So let's pause on 4.
Yeah, sounds good.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
So if you notice, Paul here, instead of facing completely 180,
like in a swing out would be here,
is facing, actually has only like rotated about 90 degrees. And then I'm actually pretty much doing the same thing as I normally do on 3 and 4.
And we have this lane, and we have this tension now, so if we were to release each other, we'd very gently fall backwards. At this point, we use this spring to connect, to retrace our steps from where we came from. So we'll show that spring. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's kind of a pause back breath. Let's show that from a couple of different orientations. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Cool. So that was the first move. The second move was an inside turn followed by an outside turn, an inside-outside. And it looks like this, just to show.
And if we show it from another angle.
And so the breakdown of this move, we all know what a pass-by looks like, right? Just a normal pass-by. An underarm pass-by. There we go. That's what I was going for, sorry. And so what if we just truncated that into, instead of a 6 count, into a 4 count move? So it would look like this with a catch.
So leads, what you're doing here is really reaching and extending to catch on 3 and, essentially, so that by the time you're on 4 in the normal swing out posture, you'll have fully tracked and cradled the follow around their back. So from 2 different sides. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've crossed and created that lane for the rest of the swing out. And from the other side, 1, 2, tracking here. Cool. So that's the first part. Then we added this into the swing out. So we said, oh, this could be a swing out variation. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Follows, I'm thinking about not hitting my lead in the face when I when I move my arm over on the 4.
Thank you, that's very thoughtful.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about using my core once again to back up on the 3 and 4. My weight should be back on 4 as usual.
The follow doesn't assume anything specific about this figure. This may be the 6 count pass by that we were talking about earlier.
I don't know.
3 and 4, 5 and 6, or it may be involving a catch. 3 and 4 and a redirection on the end.
I'm actively not thinking. Like, I'm actively listening for what's going on.
So once we have the catch, we can continue doing a free spin or an outside turn like we learned last week. So here's what that looks like. Again, we're going to keep air fingers on this connection just to show that we're not cranking around even in this move. 1, 2, 3, and 4 air fingers around and catch.
So most of the turn happens from the roll-off of the lead's hand.
And the last point that we talked about was the entrance into this figure. We could do a linear rock step, which doesn't have rotation of the follow, which is all right. We can also do a partially or fully rotational rock step, rotate 2, 3, and 4, which gives a little more goosh into this figure.
And I talked about from a follower's perspective as a more advanced technique. Instead of on the 3 and 4, instead of being completely facing forward, I actually turn my waist and my upper chest to be a little bit more diagonal, which allows for a little bit more catch as well as a little bit more rotation on some of the 5 and 6. Even though my hips and my hips and feet are still forward, I'm just slightly turned.
Okay, so those were our 2 figures for today, and we also wanted to recap just all the figures we learned, not with any points, but just to show the main point of contraction of tension and contraction. Again, going with the theme of redirection. So the first we did swing outs, normal swing outs. So right there you see 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Forward swing outs. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's show it from this side. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Cool. And then we had, we did inside turn. Oh, free spin? Okay. So we did free spin and outside turn, and what that looks like is this, which we did a little bit of today. And so then to do outside turn, which is the same thing, just with a guided arm. And then we did leader's duck. So we did leader's duck, where leader backs up on the 5 and 6. So it still feels like a forward swing out a little bit for the follow, but the leader's abort.
So same tension, again, as the other moves. So we're moving together. We use that spring, move together with the stretch, then we duck out underneath. Yeah.
And then we had
Texas Tommy.
That's right.
Same stretch here. The only difference is, like the free spin, we add another element, which is the arms, but the core dynamics is exactly the same as a normal swing out.
Cool. And then we had we also had an inside turn on the 5-6, on the 5, 6, 7, 8.
Again, no different from the swing out.
Yep.
And then all the stuff that and the last one we did was 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. And that has the same tension as we come together, the same redirection as if the follower were stepping, except we do this little U crouch, as you guys remember. So the start of it, again, is exactly the same as a backward swing out.
And we iterated a few things during class. One is the intentionality on the leader's part. Another is really creating that tension on the 3 and 4. That's where you're going to get a lot of success from these moves, is creating that kind of sitting tension with your core. So
awesome work. This was a lot of material for 4 weeks, and you guys did really well. We hope you have a lot of material for your practice fodder in dance.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
Bye-bye.